Episode of Barely Out of Bounds. It's your boy Rico Daddy Slick here, and welcome back to another episode of Barely Out of Bounds. It's your boy Rico Daddy Slick here.
How did your crew not get out there? They're playing golf!
On the green,
They're playing golf!
we sway with a beer in hand every day. From the tee to the hole, we're just trying to keep control. We're barely out of bounds, drinking and golfing around. A toast to the fairway we raise, for the love of the game and the haze. For the love of the game and the haze.
I don't know if about it this class. I don't know. Woo!
Hey Zane, just so you know, we can hear you in the background of the thing while it's going on. So when you scream at the same time that's screaming, we can hear. Welcome back to another Cutline at a major championship. We're back, barely out of bounds, covering the Cutline at the PGA Championship going on right now at Quail Hollow. Lots of interesting storylines going into the weekend, headed into moving day, and we're here to bring it all to you. Zane, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
Wait, actually, real quick. I'm Janie Vonnegut. Join with me, as always, is Nada Buick. How are we doing today, Nada?
You pronounced it wrong. It's not a beach. Okay? It's not a beach.
All right, how we doing, Nada?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Jamie?
Doing well. Ready to talk some golf action. But of course, as everyone knows, this is also a drinking podcast. Zane, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking a beer that I found out does not have corn syrup in it. I recently found out from one of my clients that my favorite beer, Miller Lite, has corn syrup. Has high fructose corn syrup. I did not know that. And so I will no longer be drinking Miller Lite until they change such a.
They are not going to.
So I am drinking the Blue Bastard Bud Light.
Yeah, that's fucking gross. Get that shit off the screen.
It doesn't have glucose in it. High fructose corn syrup. So
no, it's got rice water.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's fucking gross. All right. I am having a new drink on the show, something I've never had before, but I'm excited about. We're having a TK Mulligan crafted vodka cocktail, the Transfusion. Very golf.
Ooh, very golf.
I have it poured into a glass because it is warm. We got a nice glass here.
Oh, that is nice. I wish I had thought of that.
That's good. That's refreshing.
I wish I had thought of that.
And you know what? I'm not a big vodka guy. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Transfusions are all right. They are not as good as like what's that lemony one? Really good. Oh, I can't remember it.
Mike's.
And they're not as good as John Daly's. John Daly's are far superior.
Mike's Hard, is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about like it's vodka and like lemonade. I can't remember what it is. It's I think it's better than a Transfusion. Transfusion's great. No shade thrown.
I just don't like tequila transfusions. I don't like tequila, so I don't like tequila transfusions.
But most transfusions are tequila. Most transfusions are.
Yeah, I know. I mean, some people go 50-50 with it though, and that's the thing I have a problem with.
I don't think most courses would rather use the cheap vodka with the transfusions, and that's typically that's what I'm used to typically. So. Anyway, so I'm obviously get your Beerly OB podcast merch. Beerly OB podcast merch in the link below.
Yeah.
And then also don't forget to be ballsy. Don't forget it. So yeah.
Ah, that's fucking gross. Okay, so Zane, we're gonna get into the golf. Let's give a quick update on how our DraftKings teams are doing. We talked a little bit about it before the show, but let's go ahead and break it down.
How is your team doing, Zach?
We're doing.
Whoa.
We're out here. You know what? We're out here competing.
Where are you at in like place wise after day 2?
I'm 3,100th place.
Yeah, you are way ahead of me. We're not even in this. We're not even close to the same first digit.
I'm not like I'm less than 10 out of money. Less than 10 points out of.
And 4 of your guys made the cut like me, or what?
Yeah, 4 of my guys made the cut. Shout out to Jason Day and Patrick Reed. You fucking suck.
Wow, dropping the hard F there.
Well, here's the thing. Jason Day was 2 under through 3 on day 1.
Oh, I know.
Finishes 4 or 2 over on the day, and I'm like, okay, well, it's clear that he can score on this course. He was 2 under through 3. Goes out to Jay and drops a 4 over.
Yes.
And then the same thing with Patrick Reed. Day 1, he was 1 or 2 under through 3 or 4. Finishes 1 over on the day. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then he shoots 3 over in round 2.
Yeah.
And then Stefan Jaeger almost missed the goddamn cut today. And he was 4 under going into today. I was losing my mind watching that leaderboard, man. Oh, man.
I'm about to start beating little animals. I'm about to start beating little animals.
But the guys I have that did make the cut, we got Bryson DeChambeau. He shot 3 under today, a couple with an even par round 1, gets in T17 at 3 under. Still definitely in this tournament. Got Corey Connors, who shot 2 over in round 1, but followed it up with a 3 under round 2 to get himself to 1 under at T36.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got my boy Denny McCarthy playing strong this week. 1 under round 1, 3 under round 2 to get him in the top 10 at 4 under par T7. And Stefan Jaeger had an absolute stinker out there today, but a 4 under 67 in round 1 gets him to the weekend. T48 at even par.
Yeah. Yep.
How's your team doing, dude?
Bad. Really bad. So my highest position right now is T36, and that's actually the guy who had the lowest draft percentage out of any of my guys, and that was Lucas Glover. So it's amazing. I was telling Zach this is amazing. All the oldies, except for maybe Phil, pulled out. You know, like Jonathan Vegas, who's not young anymore. Lucas Glover played well. I had the list here. Obviously, you got some young guys up there. Bo Hostler, he's tied with Lucas Glover.
How old is he now? He's got to be 30.
He's our age, I think. I think he's our age. And then you got Keegan Bradley up there, T27. Like you got all these guys. I wish I had picked John Rahm. Who knew he would turn it around? T27.
Did he get back into it? Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, it's just amazing what's happening there at
Adam Scott
at Quail Hollow. Yeah, at Quail Hollow, it's absolutely nuts. Now, I think I have found and this is where I used my name here, and maybe Zach can agree with me. I mean, what are you seeing from these guys out there why are all these people that were projected to do so well at this course, why are they sucking it up?
That's a tough one, man. That's a really tough one. To me, I'm just, I don't know. First off, I think Rory lied to the public when he said it wasn't playing any harder than Wells Fargo.
No, I don't think that's it. I
What do you
think
think
it's
it
very clearly playing. I think it's very clearly playing not that difficult. I mean, 8 under is leading right now.
That's true.
Jonathan
That does
Davis.
put it on track to that 15 to 18 number.
100%. Yeah, I don't know why you'd say that it's not playing as
But
hard.
it's not like a lot
No.
of guys there. I mean,
I think what has happened was, and it's very evident, and we'll show some reactions by some of the players. We'll show some reactions by some of the players while they're playing, but I believe a lot of the players who are better thought that they'd play it better. A. B. I think they are just stuck up little prissy prisses. You know, they are. They are so used to just absolute immaculate conditions.
mhm.
You know, fairways dry to the bone. If it's not dry to the bone, then they get to clean their ball off or roll it in the fairway or whatever. They get perfect lies everywhere they go, in the bunker, in the rough. They get drops everywhere they want it. Now, PGA said, no, we're playing it down.
Yeah.
We're playing it down. So I think it's amazing. All these guys that you wouldn't think would be playing better than, say, Rory or Scotty or whatever. All these guys, the big names are having to play like everybody else. And all these other guys are used to this, not being treated special.
Because they play in the Punta Cana Championship.
That's right. That's the point, right? And so
Yeah.
I think, and it's very evident. I want to pull up a video that I sent Zach, and it was just hilarious. Let's pull this up. Sorry, I'm in the wrong chat here. I'm in the there we go. Let's go to the Beerly Boss chat. I will send you. Oh, quit. I will send you. Let's go ahead and share this tab. So this was Shane Lowry. Shane Lowry on his approach, and we'll get into it after. Everybody's got their own opinion on this kind of thing. Shadow down. Shadow.
I've got. Well, there is a correct opinion on this.
There is a correct opinion on this. You ready? So this is Lou Stagner. We obviously can see what he makes of it. He says, quote, you don't get a relief, and I love Lou, by the way. So Lou, not bashing. If you take offense to this, please don't. You don't get relief from this, but Tiger can get 30 fans to push a 475-ton boulder out of the way. The rules of golf make 0 sense. Okay, this is Shane Lowry on his approach. Let's go ahead and take a look. And let's pause it right here before we see his reaction. So you can very clearly see that ball is embedded. That ball is plugged. Okay.
No, I think it's in a divot, isn't it?
It might be.
I think that's a divot. That's why he doesn't get relief. If it's embedded, you have the embedded ball rule.
It might be in a divot. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
So it might be in a divot. All right, so it's in a divot. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Obviously, a big reaction by Shane Lowry.
Frustrated.
Yep.
Doesn't look like a happy camper.
But all these guys are talking about how the and I wish I could find it real quick, but we can take we can stop sharing. So all these guys are talking about how like the grass is too wet, you know what I mean, and how they're getting mud balls like crazy. Zach, what's the correct opinion on this?
Hold on. So sorry, I got crazy breaking news.
Okay.
I'll share it in a second. But the correct opinion on this is the fairways do not look wet enough to deem, yeah, we got to play lift, clean, in place. Like we got to roll it in the fairway. If you want to hit a high ball flight off the tee into every fairway and get your ball muddy, that's on you, dude. That is on you. We're seeing the balls bounce and roll. They're not plugging. So if you want to play that super high ball flight, and have it land hard and get mud on it into your approach shot, you know the conditions of the course.
That is the correct
You know
opinion.
how to avoid that. You're a good enough golfer to know how to avoid that.
That's the correct opinion. Yeah, and that's exactly what I was about to say is these guys are the best of the best. And the fact that these guys can't be man enough to just hit a low shot they all can do it.
Yeah.
But, they'd rather hit it high and then choose to bitch and moan about the mud being on their ball. And that's just not Zach and I both know that you don't get relief with mud on your ball.
With a mud ball, there's also ways you can play that to make the mud not affected as much. And you do it the same.
That's regardless. I don't even worry about that.
But what I'm saying is,
there's not. There's some things you can't do about a mud ball, Zach. I don't agree there. There's some things you can't do about a mud ball. Now there's strategies, but there's no way to perfectly hit a mud ball. There's no way.
But you can minimize its impact on the flight.
Mud balls are going to affect the flight of a golf.
Of course, they're going to affect the flight.
Yep.
So there's mitigation. Don't give it to yourself by hitting a high ball into the fairway. And then there's also ways that you can deal with mitigating the results once you get a mud ball.
Tell us.
So, number one, same kind of thing. A mud ball can't affect the flight as much if it's not in the air as long.
Okay. It's still going to affect the flight quite a bit.
100% it's going to affect the flight. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it can't affect it as much if the ball's not in the air as long.
Okay.
So instead of hitting your stock high cut 7 iron, talking to certain players, hit a low 6, a soft 6. Let the ball spin a little less, run a little more. There's ways to mitigate it. I'm not saying that. Obviously, I'm not saying that I would be better at it than these guys. These guys are the best players in the world. But again, not being able to, or not going out and making those changes in preparation for the course that is maybe a little damp. That's on the player. That's not on anyone else but the player.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I think these guys are I think they're spoiled. I think they're spoiled rotten to the core. I think that's why you see, let's pull this up because I do want to pull this up. Let's go to share screen. I'm going to go to the Data Golf live model. Let's go to the PGA Championship live model. And just to prove my point, look at the top 20. Look at that. You look at you got Siwoo Kim there, Matt Fitzpatrick, sure, but then you got Matthew Pavon,
shout out,
Scotty Scheffler,
shout out,
and you got Max Homa who ain't been playing well, Denny McCarthy,
my boy,
Robert McIntyre.
I think that was the guy that
Smalley. Alex Smalley made it in because Sahith Theegala dropped out. He was the alternate.
By the way. Shout out to that guy that said Denny McCarthy, this course doesn't set up well for him yesterday.
Yeah, that's hilarious. JT Poston.
Shout out.
Michael Thorburn. Ryan Gerard. He was leading the tournament at one point.
Yep.
Sam Stevens. Look at all these guys. You never know their names.
Yeah.
Garrick Higo, the guy who won down in Punta Cana. Corrales Punta Cana.
Yeah.
And then Bryson, and then JJ, and then Tony. But the whole point is all these names who got cut: Shane Lowry, Jordan Spieth, Sepp Straka.
Yeah. I almost picked him too, Sepp.
He was a good pick. And so that's the thing to me. It's just so crazy how I think these guys are just spoiled. I think that's why they're shooting 3 over at a course that I'm going to be honest with you, dude. Looking at the golf course, the way it's set up, it doesn't look that tough. And I don't mean that. I hope people don't take that in a way, which means I can go out there and shoot.
Yeah, I would be very clear
8 under. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is these guys should be shooting probably 8 shots better than me on 18 holes.
I will say
Look,
this.
can I finish my point?
Sure.
8 shots better than me on 18 holes is what most of these guys should be able to do better than me, right? Well, maybe less. Maybe six or 7 shots on 18 is what they should do better than me on probably average.
Yeah.
I do believe playing well out there, I could have shot 3 over par.
Okay.
I do.
Over 2 days or 1 day?
Over 2.
You think you shot better than 3 over 2? Okay.
Because I know I probably would have shot like, yeah, I do think I could have done.
So I finished
or 6 over. But look at the names at 6 over. Jason Day, Will Zalatoris, Patrick Cantlay, all these big names.
Yeah.
Cam Smith.
Brooks
Koepka.
Phil Mickelson.
Russell
Henley.
Look at all these names. All these people that have won. I do believe
Adam Hadwin
better than 9 over. I do believe I could have shot better than 9 over. Justin Rose is surprising. That's such a surprise for me. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know, Zach. What is your opinion on this?
So I finished watching during lunch today because I was doing my level 1 seminar. During lunch today, I finished the Cutline series with Grant Horvat and the Bryan Bros. Mm-hmm. I'd watched round 1, and they all played tough for them. I will say in the second round, Wesley Bryan shot 4 under par. And that was 2-3 weeks ago. So they're playing the stands were up. It's damn near in tournament condition. And he shot 4 under par on day 2. Or no, sorry, 3 under par on day 2. He bogeyed the last hole and shot 3 under par on day 2. So like me seeing that, he's the best player when he's playing well. He's the best player in that group. Grant's by far the worst. And seeing that, I was like, oh, that kind of confirmed my suspicion of the 15 to 20. Because I was like, if Wesley Bryan can shoot 3 under out here with a bogey on the last hole, a bad bogey on the last hole, actually, then these guys, like Wesley Bryan's a good player, but he is not anywhere near the top of the PGA Tour.
Sure.
And he's not even on the PGA Tour anymore as of right now. But that confirmed my suspicion. And then we come out today and all these guys are playing terrible. I'm like, what is going on? And I do have a very special update. Rory McIlroy. This just came on my phone from ESPN. Rory McIlroy was forced to use a backup driver in the PGA Championship when his regular driver was tested and deemed to be non-conforming after he arrived at Quail Hollow. According to a report on SiriusXM PGA Tour Radio on Friday, McIlroy was tied for last in driving accuracy among the 74 players who made the cut on Friday, hitting only 10 fairways in 2 rounds. The Masters champion made the cut on the number after a bogey on the final hole when he drove left beyond a creek against corporate tents. For the second straight day, McIlroy left Quail Hollow and declined to speak to media. Obviously, if he's not leading the tournament, he's not going to talk to media. So,
I'm just so amazed. What was deemed non-conforming about it?
I'm guessing the smash factor on the driver was non-conforming. I have no idea. Like when they tested it was too hot or something.
No,
I don't know.
That's not how they test it though.
How
They don't put it on a track, man. Where did you read this?
This is on ESPN.
So this is the same news. Okay. Yeah, results are
It
confidential.
exceeded the allowed limits for spring-like effect. So yeah. Specifically, the coefficient of restitution, which measures the efficiency of collision and determines how much energy.
Wow, the tests are typically random.
This happens when a driver's face undergoes excessive wear, causing it to become too hot and produce a higher coefficient of time, or CT.
Whoa.
So
Wait
take
a
away his
second.
Masters win. Is the
Wait a
question.
second. Yeah,
Do we
wait
take
a
away his
second.
Masters win?
Wait a second.
Is that the reason he was able to hit the ball like 380 yards? It's because he had a non-conforming head in the bag? I get to add an asterisk to the Masters win for Rory. Yes. Oh, this is the best news ever. Oh, God. Put it
That's
on the
amazing.
board, ladies and gentlemen.
I'd
That's
like to know if it's the same.
W. We're gonna eat. We eating a W tonight.
I'd like to know if it's the same driver.
It has to be. You think he took that driver out of the bag?
I think they replace those things.
Not that recently.
Not fairly often, but not that often.
Well, got to remember,
Wow.
he went to the QI10 for his win at the Players. And then he was finally using wait, I have to wonder, was he using the QI10 at the
That's the question, right? Was he using the QI10 and then using the QI35?
Rory's driver Masters.
Wow, that is boggling. I did not know that.
So Rory's winning. He was using the QI10 at the Masters. Okay, Rory's driver. Okay, so now I need to know, had he gone to the QI35?
Wait a second. He probably did keep the QI10 because that, like, if that's normal, like if that's overwear,
that's got to be the QI10. The QI10 was illegal. That's why he shipped it to the fucking tournament. He was getting like 20-mile-an-hour ball speed higher.
Not 20 mile an hour. Get out of here.
Listen, I'm allowed to be hyperbolic when Rory's found to be a cheating bastard.
This is no, Zach. Come on, but that is super interesting, though. That is like, that's mind blowing. Oh my god, that's.
You know what?
insane.
I bet I know. Hold on. No, it was the QI10. It was the same driver. There's a picture of him. It was the same driver. Oh, this is beautiful, dude. This is the best news I could have ever received. Rory won the Masters with non-conforming clubs. Put
Zach,
the asterisk on the board.
Zach, that's sad that you're being so mean. You're just a mean dude.
Listen, I'm one transfusion in now. We're having time right now.
Here we go. Here's a better thing. This is from Scratch by Ryan Barrett. Let's see about if he's got any more information. So this happened to Xander at the 2019 Open Championship.
I mean, we need to start
Wow.
testing everybody's heads. I don't want anyone.
If that's the case, I think we might have to. You know what I mean? Like, this is saying it might be the carbon, because this says the face flexes on impact. The more the metal, or carbon in the case of the QI10, starts to wear down. Considering Rory is one of the fastest players on tour, the life cycle of his drivers are going to be a lot shorter than other less speedy players. Wow.
And by the way, I totally support testing Bryson's driver as well. Totally support that.
It's actually unfair.
I'm fair about
I'm not
it.
biased. I'm not biased.
I'm not.
So we also wanted to show a couple more things before we end today. We're doing a short show, obviously.
So Justin Rose won the Masters. Put it on the board.
Okay, Zach. All right, settle down. Don't you get your panties in a wad. All right. So this is Live Star. Phil Mickelson takes 4 strokes to get out of the bunker. Let's take a look at this. It was bad.
Phil left it in the bunker at 12.
He's about to do it again. Diabolical. Phil is no longer Phil. There, I said it.
I will say this. I mean, what is he at this point?
5 over.
He's 5 over at this point.
Took him 4 shots to get out of the bunker.
He was 5
6 over.
He was 6 over at that point.
Well, it says 5 over on the bottom, 6 over on the little thing that came up above him. Great job, PGA Championship.
Yeah, we love the broadcasters. Shout out to the broadcast team.
I think it's ESPN, right, this year?
Yeah.
I think it is. And then missed cut. So after firing an 82 on Friday, the hometown hero, Michael Block, told at golf.com or at golf, I guess it is at golf.com, the smaller crowd size resulted in a poor performance en route to a missed cut. Yeah, okay. Quote.
Wait, what was the crowd size, Zane?
It was a poor crowd size.
Oh. What did I say before the tournament?
I agreed. I agree with you now. It was bad. You know what? We were talking about this at work today. I think you're 100% right, Zach, with this whole PGA Championship needs to move back to the last major. It doesn't have the same importance. It's not as important anymore. No. And that's what's so sad is like this should be well attended.
Yeah.
If you look at the old PGA Championships, even though it didn't have the zeal or luster that the other tournaments did, it was still the last major championship of the year. And so we weren't going to get golf again. It wasn't like the FedEx Cup existed. We weren't going to get golf again for another 6 months or whatever, another major championship for another five or 6 months. And so that was what was so cool about it, right? Well, now, since they moved it because of the FedEx Cup and stuff like that and playoffs, this is what happens. Zach, show them the Aaron Rye thing.
Here we go. Aaron Rye Army out in full force on Thursday.
That is.
I saw that and I was like, "Damn! I've never felt more right about anything in my life."
That's that looks like any other. That looks like the Corrales Punta Cana has crowd sizes.
No, the Corrales Punta Cana, but the Corrales Punta Cana doesn't have the balls to put up grandstands when they haven't sold the tickets.
That's right.
That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Now, will those grandstands probably be filled on Sunday? Of course, I think they probably will. But
only when the last group tees off.
Exactly. I think that's a damn travesty.
That's a damn shame. That's horrible. I don't think Valhalla had this little crowd appearance.
That's fucking terrible.
It's so bad. So he said, quote, this is Michael Block talking. He said, quote, that's kind of the funny part is I wish there was a huge crowd size on every hole because that's when I hit my shots. When there's no one around when I hit my worst shots.
Okay, dude.
That's something I need more in.
Was there a big crowd at your PGA qualifier?
Yeah. This guy.
I can't stand him. God, I can't stand him.
Dude, I can't stand him. Like, yeah, it was great rooting for a PGA guy, but you're telling me it had to be this guy, you know? Anyway, I just need to play a little better so it could happen. I could only imagine what would have happened if I would have been playing really good this week. Yeah, duh. Like, what the hell?
Listen, Zane, he's not media
What
trained.
the hell was that last sentence?
He's not media trained. Don't bully him for that.
I could only
He's not media
imagine
trained.
what would have happened if I would only played really good this week. What?
Same, dude. Same.
Yeah, then play better. Again, I just think it's one of those things.
Oh man, do you got any more stories you want to cover about this weekend?
Oh, here's a better look at real quick. Here's a better look at that embedded ball. Zach, I don't think that's a divot, buddy.
I think it is.
That doesn't look
Well,
like.
then wouldn't it be embedded ball rule?
Well, we're about to find out. You ready?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing.
Put it up.
Let's put it up. So the Irishman hit a perfect tee shot down the short par 4 8th, setting up a great birdie opportunity and would have moved him to even par for the tournament, but he got screwed. When he made his way, blah, blah, it was partially plugged in an old pitch mark. Oh, it wasn't his pitch mark. If it was his own pitch mark, he would have
gotten relief.
If this round was being played as lift clean in place, he could have taken relief. No dice though, folks. Lowry was forced to play it from there, but it didn't go well. He advanced to just 80 yards. He took a page out of gave the hole a quick finger. And there's Shane been there. That's what Dad does whenever he gets mad. That's pretty much it, dog. Anything else to talk
I thought you were gonna put something on screen.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't. My bad. Sorry. Let's look at the chat. So Lincoln Griffin, what's up, boys? I haven't been able to see any coverage yet. Surprises? Yes. Very surprised.
None of the best players in the world are playing very good.
and a lot of the other players are.
Rory had a tough day 1 and day 2.
Yeah, Rory's sucking it up out there. So
he made the cut on the number.
This is not what we thought would happen. I mean,
no, not at all.
Zach
not at all what we thought would happen.
We thought this would be kind of his
I thought it would be Rory and Bryson in the final group on Sunday.
It still might be Bryson.
But Rory definitely ain't getting there.
Rory ain't getting there, dog. Not with Saturday and Sunday pin placement.
I mean, unless he drops like a 63. But
yeah, and just to show everybody that like it can be done out there. Like, this is the crazy part about this event. This is the crazy part, is just to show people. This is Max Homa. He fired a 7 under today, making his lowest career round at a major. This is a guy who has not been playing well. You know what I mean? Max Homa has not been playing well. And there he goes shooting 7 under at his shooting his lowest career round.
At a major.
At Quail Hollow. It's just one of those things where I think this is nuts. I think it's just these players are way too what's the word? Pampered. Yeah.
Yeah, and Max Homa's a dog.
Yep. Max Homa's a dog. He got that dog in him, dog.
Yeah. It's not a pretty dog, but it's a dog.
Anyway, so that's it. That's all I got.
Alrighty. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to the Cutline at the PGA Championship here at Barely Out of Bounds. We will see you guys next week to talk about the results on Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. Excited to see you guys there. Zane, anything you want to plug before we go?
Get merch. Be looking for our merch link on Facebook and Instagram. Probably by tomorrow. Barely Out of Bounds podcast, people. Get your pint glasses here. Drink with us. We want friends. You know.
I don't want any new friends. I got plenty of friends. Shout out to Lincoln Griffin. We'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the weekend at the second major.